Our top story tonight on Gravitas focuses on the missile war between Israel and Yemen's Houthi forces. And this is not just a rapidly escalating conflict or another chapter in the West Asia tensions. It's a new kind of warfare with both sides striking each other relentlessly through multiple attacks and targeting key infrastructure. As the Israeli defense minister described it, it is the first ever missile war. What does that mean? Let's just first break it all down for you. For the fifth time in just 8 days, central Israel was rocked by sirens overnight. What was the cause? Another ballistic missile attack launched by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi forces. What was the target, you ask? A major international airport in Tel Aviv. In fact, Israeli forces said that they intercepted the missile before it even reached their airspace. But the fear of falling debris triggered alarm across a wide area. Flight arrivals were halted for 30 minutes. Civilians rushed to bomb shelters in panic, leaving at least 18 people injured in the process. The Houthis, however, claim otherwise, insisting that their missile struck its target, causing casualties and halting operations at the airport, and that they executed 2 successful drone attacks, one on a ship in the Arabian Sea and the other in Israel's Jaffa. Listen in.
The missile force of the Yemeni armed forces carried out a specific military operation targeting Ben Gurion Airport in the occupied area of Jaffa using a hypersonic ballistic missile of Palestine II type. The missile succeeded in reaching its target despite the enemy's censorship, and the operation resulted in casualties and the cessation of navigation at the airport.
Now, this is just one part of the story. Hours earlier, Israeli warplanes unleashed a barrage of strikes deep into Yemen. The operation was massive. Dozens of fighter jets, spy planes and refuelers coordinated to hit Houthi-controlled infrastructure. Targets included Sana'a International Airport, the Hezbollah power plant, and key Red Sea ports like Hodeidah and Salif. Reportedly, these facilities are critical for the Houthis' operations. According to reports in Israeli media, they serve as hubs for Iranian weapons transfers and the entry points for senior Iranian officials. The strikes also caused significant damage reportedly. The air traffic control tower was severely damaged, and shattered glass could be seen covering the road and pavement outside the airport. People could also be seen rushing out of the airport after the Israeli airstrikes. The head of the World Health Organization has said that he was about to board a plane at the airport when it came under attack. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the attack was aimed at cutting off, quote-unquote, the terror arm of Iran's axis of evil. Listen in.
Tonight, we light a second Hanukkah candle. We are in the war of revival, the generation of the Maccabees today. A little while ago, the Air Force attacked targets of the Houthi terrorist organization in Yemen, both on the coastline and in Sana'a. We are determined to root out this terrorist arm of Iran's axis of evil. We will persist in this until we complete the job.
Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Minister, Israel Katz, has said that the Israelis will hunt down Houthi leaders and continue retaliatory strikes until the job is done. Listen in.
We've just seen a precise operation by the Israeli Air Force hitting specific Houthi targets in Yemen, at the airport, at the port. As we said, whoever hurts Israel, we will hurt them. We will hunt down all the Houthi leaders, hit them as we have done elsewhere. No one will be able to escape Israel's long measure. We will attack them in order to remove threats to the state of Israel.
But let's just take a step back here for a moment. What really is fueling this unprecedented escalation? You see, the Houthis have made their intention clear. Their attacks will continue until the war in Gaza ends. Since December 16 alone, the Houthis have fired at least 5 ballistic missiles and launched at least 5 drones at Israeli targets. Some of these attacks have landed dangerously close to civilian areas. Just last week, in fact, a Houthi missile struck a park in Jaffa, injuring 16 people. Days before, another missile hit a school in Ramat Gan. On Tuesday, the Israeli Defense Ministry signed a deal to ramp up the production of the Arrow 3 interceptor missile. This cutting-edge system is designed to destroy ballistic missiles outside the Earth's atmosphere, and the expansion in the Arrow 3 production is critical. It's not just for thwarting ballistic missile attacks on the rise. You see, Israel's famed Iron Dome has been breached on multiple occasions this year, especially during Iran's missile and rocket attacks in October, increasing the importance of Arrow 3 missiles. And even as the battle unfolds in the skies, accusations of war crimes are surfacing. Meanwhile, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned of the risks of further escalation. He called for restraint, emphasizing that strikes on Red Sea ports and Sana'a airport endanger critical humanitarian operations, adding that millions in Yemen rely on these facilities for life-saving aid. Iran has also condemned Israel's actions. Tehran described the airstrikes as a quote-unquote violation of international peace and accused Israel of committing crimes against Yemen's people. Meanwhile, the Houthis are doubling down on their threats. Following Israel's latest strikes, Houthi leaders have promised swift retaliation. The stakes are higher than ever. This conflict is no longer confined to the borders of Yemen or Israel. It's spilling over into the Red Sea, the Arabian Sea, Tel Aviv suburbs and beyond. At this point, the immediate question is, how far will things go really? With both sides targeting strategic and symbolic assets, the potential for widespread catastrophic devastation is growing by the day. Israel is ramping up its missile defenses and striking back. The Houthis, supported by Iran, are showing no signs of backing down absolutely. What happens next in this war defined by advanced weaponry and new strategies is anybody's guess. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.